Hi guys! Today I am going to show you how to make this recipe I came up with. It is a chicken pesto pasta with diced tomatoes. It's really good, it's really simple, and the whole family will love it, and it's actually pretty cheap. It looks good, it looks kind of fancy, like you're at a fancy restaurant, and I think that's my favorite part about it, and it goes great with wine. So let's get to it. You are going to want 3 cans of diced tomatoes. Make sure they are basil, garlic, and oregano. Also, basil pesto, you can get it in any kind. It doesn't have to be a specific kind, but this actually makes the flavor. I like to use thin spaghetti. You can use vermicelli or angel hair, but I like to go with a thin spaghetti. You're gonna want 2 bags of cheese, Italian blend, and I usually go with mozzarella, but today I'm going with casserole. You are going to want 3 cloves of garlic. I would say you're going to want about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of breast tenderloins. You can use more if you want. Tonight I'm using more. The first thing you're going to want to do is salt your chicken. I would poke some holes in that with a fork. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put about 1.5 tablespoons of the basil pesto. I'm going to do 6 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more than that, on the chicken. I would say maybe 2 tablespoons, and I put about 6 to 7 of those on, depending on how much you like pesto. It's what's going to give it the flavor. So you can be generous, or if you don't like pesto that much, or you do like pesto, then you kind of want to eye it. I'm then going to spread the pesto sauce all over the chicken and make sure they're all pretty much even. If you miss a spot or two, don't worry about it, because the pesto, it becomes a sauce after you bake it, so it's not going to be just thicked on the chicken. It will become like a sauce that you can use on top of the pasta as well. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my casserole cheese first. If you are using mozzarella, that's what I would put on first. But since I'm using casserole, I'm going to put the casserole cheese on. And I'm going to be very generous with the cheese, and I'm going to spread it all over the chicken, because there's nothing better than cheesy pesto chicken. It's really good, and this is something the family is absolutely going to love. They actually do love it. This is probably my 3rd time in a couple weeks making this meal. Next, I'm going to take my Italian cheese, and I'm going to sprinkle it on top. I'm going to make it even. I'm not going to put as much of this on top. I'm going to make sure it's even, and so that way it's really cheesy and yummy, and it just blends in really, really good with the pesto sauce. Now, you can preheat the oven before or after you make the chicken. Tonight I did it after because I was waiting on company, and you are going to want to preheat that oven to 400 degrees, and if your oven's like mine, it will heat up pretty quick. So while my oven is preheating, I am going to take those 3 cans of diced tomatoes, and I am going to just pour them right into a saucepan. Now with the garlic, I am going to slice the garlic up, and then I'm going to mince it, because that is going to go into my diced tomatoes, which gives it a little bit extra flavor. The chicken's going to be cooking for about 45 minutes to an hour. And while I do that, I'm going to put the oil in my water, and I'm going to put the pasta in. I wouldn't start the noodles until about 30 minutes before the chicken will be done, because you don't want your noodles to be soggy. Now let's check on the chicken. Now that everything is done, we've got the diced tomatoes that are hot, we've got the noodles are done, and the chicken is done. So let's plate this awesome meal. You're not going to mix the sauce in with the spaghetti. You're just going to put the spaghetti on the plate. And then you're going to scoop up about 1 to 1.5 diced tomatoes and just put it right on top of the spaghetti. And then you're going to get your chicken, and you're going to place it right on top, and voila. You've got yourself chicken pesto pasta on top of a bed of tomatoes, and it is delicious. This is definitely a really cheap meal if you're going to feed a family of 5. I'm feeding a family of 9 tonight, but I will tell you, everybody loves this meal. Even the small kids like it. They absolutely love it. It's one of their favorites, and I'm very proud of myself for coming up with a recipe like this. I hope you guys enjoy it. The recipe will be linked down below. So if you want to try this recipe, it's really quick, it's really simple. I would say it takes about an hour to make, but it's really cheap, really simple, and it goes great with a side salad and a glass of wine. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. And follow me on my social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bon appetit!